Welcome everybody to another episode of Me, Myself, and I'm Joey G, Bad Bussy on Instagram and all the things. My guest and I, we've been literally talking now for maybe like a hot half hour, but I'm also not the best at times, so don't trust me in my measurements. Well, you could trust the other measurements. Those ones I don't play about.
Ew.
Circumference, girth, length, all of it. Don't mess with those.
The stats.
Ew. Find me on Sniffies. I'm kidding. I'm in a cleansing era from...
Fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, same actually.
Really?
Literally just we did a
Meaningful.
mass clean out not too long ago.
We'll touch on that in a minute. Meaningful relationships. But yes, speaking of a meaningful relationships, we have a meaningful artist, performer, guest, and true friend of mine, and just fucking New York City nightlife breakthrough artist, icon, entertainer. And I don't mean that to hyperbolize. I'm just being so fucking serious when I say it.
Yeah, this
We have
good.
Mariyea joining us.
What's up, y'all?
Doesn't she look so
Hey.
fucking sexy? Like, we were
Trying.
adjusting.
The sun is out.
The sun is most definitely
you
out.
know? I had to come out.
You're
with
the one
show.
giving the serotonin and the light. The sun is
needed
competing.
it. Like I was really like, okay, I've been depressed for far too long. And the sun said, I got you, babe.
Same.
She did it for me.
This summer, I'm like, this is the last time y'all will see me with pants on. It has, exactly, legs from here on out.
And hips and body.
Body, yada. That's the thing. It's like, they look great, so why not show them?
I agree.
But also as a mean of natural air circulation.
Right.
I'm like, no, because that like 80-degree day we had the other day, I was like, this is hot, but like this is too hot for my Levi's. I'm out of these. I'm about to cut them up right here in the middle of Myrtle Ave.
See, meanwhile, I was at a park with the highest shorts that you will ever see.
Mm-hmm.
Literally laid out. Just chilling. And then I was like, no, I'm doing legs out the whole summer. I have to. I must.
Because yes, our legs look great, but it's like, it just feels so much better. I'm not
agree.
forcing myself in a pant. No.
Never. Also, when your legs start sweating, worst place. Worst place. I could do it anywhere else. There is nothing like sweating in pants.
Oh, yeah, because then I'll go to the pretty girl's room and I pull my
Right.
pants down. I'm like, my God, now what the
Right.
fuck happened down there?
Right.
I thought I did all the things I needed to do in the shower this
Yeah,
morning.
your pants should not smell like your thigh highs, ladies.
That. Genuinely that. And I'm like, fuck, there's nothing I could do about this. I could spray some perfume on it, but
And even then,
no, it's not
that's
gonna.
the thing about New York in the summer. The girls must becomes a
I was just about to say
language
must.
for all of us.
And that's what I do respect about the summer in a way. Like in the winter, we were talking about this before we started filming. I sweat a lot anywhere. It'll be February, stone cold winter. I'm on the train. I'm sweating.
Yeah.
Why, you ask? Anxiety. I don't know. I'm sweating. I feel crazy. But like in the summer when everybody's sweating on the train, I'm like, I don't have shit.
No, you don't. It's everybody.
Yeah.
Like it's literally everybody.
We
There's
all,
no escaping.
it's fucking hot.
And it's getting hotter like the summers. Not to be that girl, but global warming said, here I am.
No, yeah. And that's the thing. Like, oh, the polar bears. But like, I won't lie. Like, those
No,
fierce
but you can feel
75-degree days in December, I'm like,
Yeah.
I'll
It
take
snowed
it.
like what, once this year?
That's right.
Like that's a gag to me.
Like we live in New York. We're not too
Yeah.
far away from Canada, and
I was literally wearing 2 pieces in December for drag.
fierce.
Yeah, no, not in December.
Yeah, but like for you, yes.
Yeah.
But in terms of what it means for the earth, no. That's
no. Feeling it
feeling it.
like it was today.
When did we meet?
I was really thinking about that on the way here.
Aw.
I have no answer for you.
I
Not
feel
a single recollection of the day or the time.
It's funny because I feel like it was $3 bill. It
Yes,
had to have been the Mecca at this fucking point
that's
of,
actually the only place.
I
feel like I've never seen you actually anywhere but at $3 bill. If we've seen each other out.
I feel like it must have been there. I think I saw you perform And then we talked after you performed. I can't remember which show this was or when it was.
Yeah. But since then, we only ever see each other now, which is why I can't remember the first one.
That's a really like lovely way to put it. That's, aw.
I love it.
That's so true.
I feel like every past $3 bill appearance I've made, you've been there.
Yeah.
And we've just sat and talked.
Yep. You were at Stand Up.
Yes.
You were at Project One, which we will talk about.
Oh, Project One.
Project One.
That was a really beautiful one for me.
And it's funny because like Project One and Stand Up NYC are both created by Julie J.
Give it up for my sister. Everybody always, at any point, anytime, I will sing your praises. You know that. We love Julie J. A stan.
Yeah. I run Julie J #1 stan updates account on Twitter. Like
Mayor of New York City drag. Julie J.
Genuinely, that's, you know what? That's the title. Fuck being the Queen of Brooklyn or whatever.
Is it Mayor of New York City drag?
Down.
Okay, period.
Yeah. I don't even know how long mayors like mayors last or whatever, like how long their term is. But with Julie, there is no term.
Yeah, no.
Julie is the term.
It's giving mayor. The hat. It was the hat.
Yes. That's it exactly. Yeah. I love Julie. But yeah, those two shows, like I saw Stand Up, I was like, the event of the year.
Stand Up was everything. Everything.
Stand Up was
like insane.
And it's like event. You want to tell to people that weren't there, and you don't want to just be like, oh yeah, it was like another one of those great nights. But like I told my friends that missed it, unfortunately. I was like, no, like
it was
y'all
really special.
Out.
Yeah,
it was a legendary night.
Really, really, really special. Like everybody carried, and not like, oh, she gave kaka shows, but it was just really beautiful watching everybody kind of soak in the moment, whether that was like uplifting, joyous, I'm having fun, or like I'm gonna take some time to preach to y'all a little bit. Like each performance was really special. I haven't seen a show like that in quite some time.
No, me either. It was everything I love about drag and queer art in one show.
And the girls looked good. Everybody though, amazing. Like not even people who came, like just the whole room.
Everyone.
Cute night.
The list of hosts that were there too. Like it was just so many different people there. And I don't know, it was just every single thing I love in nightlife, but also every single thing that I want in nightlife that sometimes we don't see often. But it's no surprise that we saw it at a Julie J production because
she is just the essence of it. You know what I mean?
She really is.
Her. She's the essence of community to me.
So you are also performing at Project One.
Okay, one of literally my favorite shows in quite some time. Arguably some of my favorite performances. Like, what a night. What a night. I was really feeling that one. And I love when like drag does that to you. Like that was one of those nights where you're really sitting there and you're like, I really have the opportunity. Not me being I'm in my mushy era, girls.
No, same. I cried twice today.
Literally, I have the opportunity to, for better or for worse, do what I love. Drag is exhausting, yes. But I really revel in the fact that like there was once a time where this was all a little dream in my mind.
Yeah.
So now to be in the center of doing it and so often and so consistently with so many beautiful people, it's like a lot of gratitude. And that was one of those like full circle nights for me where I was like, look at you, babes. Like,
yep.
Oh, you're doing the thing.
That's the thing. With that thought you have, if you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
I'm 25.
Same.
Yeah.
What's your sign?
Pisces. Okay.
Also, you just turned 25
Forever
not so long
and
ago.
always.
Happy belated.
Thank you.
But with that thought, same.
Yeah.
Completely same. I went to Project One alone because I think a few of my friends like had to stay at work long or whatever. Yeah. And I think I just ran into, some like mutuals and friends there and whatnot. But for most of the show, I was alone. I bawled my eyes out the whole time.
No, it was really like, it was that.
Even if there was like fucking Julie performing Robin as the opener, that's Kakaraka. I was crying. I genuinely was crying because I had that moment.
Yeah.
Like there's one, like in an instance I'm living and screaming, but I'm also like, because I had that moment too, I'm like, fuck, I wasn't here a few years ago.
Yeah.
I was in a completely, you know what I mean, different territory. And that's why I asked you your age, because like 25, especially for where you and me are at, maybe we're in sync with how our lives are going. We're kind of in this new beginning of what our actual lives are
I
going to be
agree.
now. You know, like
Yeah.
the everything before kind of feels just like a preface to what
Yeah.
our lives were, like the background story. Now we're getting to what the
And
fuck life
I'm
is.
gagged. Like I woke up the day 25 happened, and it felt like all of that happened at one moment. Like very like
Wow.
press play, you're here, new life. Look at all the stuff you just did. Cute.
Yeah.
What's next? How are we starting? And I was like, are you kidding me? I went to a gig that night and I didn't stretch. My body said, nope, can't do that anymore. We're 25.
Oh no, not that.
It just all clicked in a really beautiful way. I feel like something shifted.
Yeah.
And I like just be grateful for it. But yeah, keep doing it. I'm forever a person who's always trying to overcomplicate it all. So the new thing is like, babes, you're doing the thing. Chill out, enjoy it, have fun.
Are you an overcomplicator because you find it fun or interesting? Because I'm that way. I don't overcomplicate or
Wow.
overthink out of wanting to make things difficult. I just have fun learning all the unnecessary nuances and details that go on in everything, if that makes sense.
That's really exciting. I think that is like a really healthy relationship to the thing. I think for me, I have this distraught relationship with feeling the need to be exceptional. I was just talking to somebody about this. Like, I think I'm learning how to give myself permission to just be. And sometimes it's going to be messy and not cute and not
Yeah.
put together and not the full package that you want it to be. But I think it's really important to like release myself from this need to want to feel exceptional at every point, because it's not sustainable. It's actually like really impossible. But you know, obviously you're Black, you're trans, you're a drag artist, you do acting, like you do far too many things where you can't always like release that urge to feel like you have to prove that.
And it's all about like finding that line of like, how do I still do these things that I love to do that require somewhat of, you know, audience feedback,
Yep.
being accepted, but also just being like, you know what? Fuck it.
Like I was literally talking to myself like, babes, you picked literally all the vain professions that you could ever imagine doing
Literally.
to make your entire career out of them. But I think what's really beautiful is like it just teaches you to really fall in love and appreciate yourself in ways that you never realized you would. And that's what I think I'm forever the most grateful for.
That's what it is.
Always.
That's what it is, I think. And it's, you know, now the difference between others' voice and yours.
Yes.
You know,
Really hard for a lot of girls. Me, I was the girls. Yeah.
you know, like you could have like a performance that you love that maybe everyone else loved too, but you know that performance better than anyone else does because you're the one that created it. You have the relationship with it. You know the intention behind it.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
think what's really beautiful is like I feel like we're starting to see within just like the landscape of drag in New York, just much more room for that kind of
Yes.
just like radical acceptance.
Yeah.
I think we're entering a space where everybody kind of has that chance to have their moment, most importantly for themselves. I think that's really beautiful. I think the more that we can make space for people to just feel like their oats for 5 to 10 minutes,
Yes.
like we can all just coexist more peacefully. Everybody deserves their 5 to 10. Everybody deserves their 5 to 10.
Yeah.
Like
Completely. Because that's what it is. It's like the whole point of drag is to say, like, fuck y'all to rules, concepts, you know, norms, everything like that. So why reiterate those within our own community, within the drag community, you know? And that's why, like, for going back to Project One, like, I love what Julie did with that show because it seemed like there was a theme. I mean, it was a running show. Like, there were no breaks in between each number. One would just flow into the next. But you still saw each artist be the artist they are.
Love that.
You know? Like, it was one show through and through, but I know Mariye's number, and I know Lady Rodriguez's number, and I know Julie's number, and they all coexist so uniquely yet in sync in that one show. You know?
I love watching a drag show, no skips.
That was the first one I saw. That was no skips.
Watching a drag show, no skips. Zenobia.
Uh,
We love Zenobia.
uh,
Another one of my favorite people ever.
same.
Also does that from time to time with her shows, and it's just so fun to like. It just feels like a concert in a different way.
Yes.
And I really love
Yes.
that feeling of like, okay, we're not stopping. Like, we're going to play it from beginning to end.
Yes.
Everybody know where you're beginning. Like, be ready. It's now.
It's like a
and it just keeps
relay.
you on your toes in a really beautiful way.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have time to like think as much as you do. You just have to be in it.
Yeah.
It's really beautiful.
Yeah. I will say my personal standout from that show, and probably of like most drag performances I've seen in this year, you doing Higher was my favorite thing I've seen in a long time. And it was before the vocals even started on the song. It was the spotlight going around the venue.
Trying to find.
Oh my God. Like, I get chills, like being like, fuck, I'm talking to the person that was doing it. Like,
No.
I'm like, okay, I hear the song and I'm like, oh, it's Higher.
Yeah.
The spotlight's going everywhere. And there you are in the back left corner of the $3 bill venue.
Yes.
I fell in my chair. I was like, no, Mariyea is not doing this. Like, it was so beautiful. One of my favorite live performances of all time.
Babe.
Like, I was like, it could bring tears to my eyes right now. Like, that's when the waterworks really went into fucking overdrive at that show. Like, I was just crying. One, because like the emotion that you're giving that performance is just real. And same thing, like that performance is so powerful. And just you doing that was so powerful. It just made me think, I'm like, fuck, I didn't have access to any of this years ago. And here I am.
And here you are.
You know, and I think that's the power of drag and live performances. Like, it lets you take a look into other people's lives, but also be able to reflect and be like, damn.
This is how far I've come.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just did drag in my hometown for like the first time ever.
Yeah.
And that was crazy for that reason. Just like that full circle of this is who I really so desperately wanted to be when I lived here. And now I am.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
And you're from Ohio, which is where you just came back from.
Yeah, I'm from Ohio. No, there are no secrets about it. I'm from
Okay.
Columbus. I'm a Columbus, Ohio girl.
Love.
And I love growing up there. Like, it was a really great place to establish some really solid foundations. I would have had my head and nose in everything if I grew up in like New York or LA.
Yeah.
Or in Atlanta. So I think the universe knew for me. Put her in Columbus, let her chill for the first little bit, and then she'll be able to go off and do what she needs to do.
When did you come to the city?
2016. I came for school. I've been here ever since.
Really? And you went to Tisch,
I'm
correct?
NYU, baby.
Wow. BFA, darling.
Oh, don't we love a BFA, everybody?
I mean, you sure know how to use the hell out of it.
Weaponize it. You have to. That's the only thing you really can do with it.
I mean,
is use it as a weapon.
And it's working. I've been affected.
A very expensive weapon.
But it's working.
Thank you, babe.
It's most definitely working. Would you study?
I was a drama major.
What was the goal at that time?
I think at that time was definitely Broadway. And maybe one day, but it's not like the pressing need anymore. I think ultimately what I've always wanted to do is just kind of find my way through the various avenues of performance.
Yeah.
I think performer resonates with me the most because I think that this is what I'm forever interested in the most. Just a different channel to perform and kind of release. Singing was the first one always, which is crazy because I don't sing nearly as much as I used to. I'm trying to get back to it, but that was the way in. Then acting, dancing, drag, obviously. So theater was the place where I could do all of it, which is why I kind of hopped right on in. And I got bit by the bug like really, really quick.
The theater bug?
Yes.
When?
Very fast. I did a church play at 3. I was a weeping angel.
At 3.
Sobbing. It was our time.
Yes.
Sobbing, okay?
Sell
just
it.
like giving it. 3-year-old me really was out for the Oscar. And I would have given it to me for sure.
Wow.
And since then, it was
really
just like my love language in a way. Oh, yeah, that's a cute way to describe it. Performing is my love language.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's what's so cool about like our kind of I don't want to say generation, but like things, we'll just say our generation
Yeah.
for sure.
No.
It's like the path isn't always going to be linear, but it's like, especially with our generation, because we've had so many different, external factors and politics or whatever come into play that like it really just like shook shit up and shuffled it for us.
Wow, really quickly.
Crazy.
Like, really quickly.
Which obviously isn't fun and we don't necessarily want to ask for it. But when you do like kind of align with like what you are and what you're meant to be doing, it does figure itself out and you come back to like where you should be,
quickly.
Yeah.
Quickly. Like when I look back on it, there was always this part of me that was like, oh, it's taking so long and the growth and the journey. But as I look back on it, I'm like, slow down and like revel. Because looking at where I was like 7 years ago as an 18-year-old when I first moved to this city versus like where I am now is like, babe, chill out. You're doing it.
Yeah.
Like far better than what you imagined 7 years ago.
And it's crazy because we're both 25 right now.
Yeah.
We'll probably watch this back 5 years from now and be like, calm down.
I know.
Like,
I'm gonna watch this back and be like, oh, you were so, look at you.
Like you were stressing so much about this and that and everything else, but we're trying.
We're trying. We're actually doing it very well.
We are. We really are.
We're doing really good.
I'm glad we're like aware of that.
Yeah.
That's what like 25 has been about.
It's giving celebrate yourself.
Very, very much.
Don't be afraid to. I'm always afraid to celebrate myself.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
I've just like, what I realized, I think by not celebrating yourself, it actually comes off quite like selfish.
No,
and,
yes.
Yeah,
down.
Like it comes off just like very pick me.
Yep.
It's not cute.
Get into it.
And I said this on the night I turned 25 too, which is funny because you talked about the moment you turned 25. It's like, I realized all the shit I was doing against myself. And I was like, this is so counterproductive.
Yes.
If somebody gives a compliment, why am I going to be like, oh, no, Right. Be like, yeah, my ass is fat. Right. Thank you. I grew up fucking devouring rice and I go to the gym every day.
So that you will tell me that my ass is fat.
Yeah, yes. And it would just be scientifically incorrect if I were to be like, oh, no, it's just these pants. No, babes, pants on or off. This shit is fat. Like,
I love that you know.
And that's what it is. It's just common self-awareness. And I think that's the sexiest thing in people. I
agree.
So why not be that yourself?
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. And so like when it comes to career stuff or like say you get a gig, like if somebody offers you your dream gig, why are we going to be like, oh, well, like, that's the gig you wanted, right?
Which is crazy. Like
how that fucking works.
How it works, how quickly it can happen. Like, yeah, I don't know. I've really been recontextualizing being open to the fact that at any moment your dreams can come true because like they literally can.
They can. And
I used to not believe that until like it happened and I was like, oh, yeah, believe that because it can happen.
Yeah. And it's hard when you're in like the rut of it all.
Yes.
Because nothing is believable.
Of course not.
At that point, like 25 for me was the hardest and shittiest year of my life. But at the same time, it was the best.
I love that.
Like still, I wouldn't change a single thing about it. And I think about those times when I was in the pit of like what my past year was. You couldn't tell me anything that would convince me otherwise that I was going to be fine.
Period.
But it just takes some fucking delusion. We were talking about this before we started filming.
Delusion.
You just have to. And it's not like unsupported delusion.
No, of course not.
You know, it's not me being like, yeah, the sky's green. But I could be like, this guy's...
It's green for me today.
Exactly. Or the sky is turquoise. Yes. You know, it's a nice little shade of turquoise.
Absolutely.
You know, it's not completely far off.
No.
From
but it's just like what's supporting you in that moment. You know what I mean? Like, give yourself what you need to get by in each little individual moment.
Exactly.
And that's going to require something different every day. And I'm really learning how to lean into that for sure.
How do you actively lean into that?
When I'm on my P's and Q's, I do like get up and meditate and get
wow.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I love that.
Time to start my day. Touch my phone for like the first good hour. We're stretching.
My girl. Yep.
When I am anxious or busy or not getting enough sleep, we just think about it.
Felt.
Which is not the same, really, right? So
no, that's real. Turning 25, like, oh, you'll realize how important sleep is.
Please, let's talk about it. Please, let's talk about it because You know, there's just never enough hours in the day for me to sleep.
No.
Never.
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 Never enough hours in the day.
You know, like the functioning under like 4 hours of sleep thing is cute
Yeah.
in theory.
In practice, goodbye.
No.
No. This is like, I've very much now, I think like within the past month, there were 2 gigs where I was napping in between the numbers. I just had to. I was
Really?
like, tap me when it's time.
Genius. How was the nap?
Really
How are both
good.
of them?
Really good. I'm like in this haze as like the music is starting, and then you like lock in and you're like, yeah, okay, here we are.
Oh, so how do you put yourself to sleep in between numbers? It should
So
sound
here's
easy.
the issue. I can sleep anywhere.
Yep.
In any way.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure I could sleep standing up as a board. Yeah.
I'm the same way.
Mhm.
Okay.
And then my body's like, it's time to perform, get up. I'm the person who like unintentionally falls asleep on the subway and is waking up right as the door is opening at my stop. Knocking on wood that continues to happen. But
yes,
that's me.
I'm that person too.
I love that for us.
Same.
Let's not risk it. But I love that for us.
Same. And I'm the type of person where like if I'm bored, I will get tired.
Yes.
Like if I'm at a function and the music isn't good, I'm like,
and it's like, don't take it personal. Right?
No,
it's not about anybody. It's not the fact that I'm not sleeping enough.
It's the way my chemicals are reacting to this. It's just not stimulating enough, which sounds a little shitty to say, but
I know, but when
stimulating enough for me.
I'm forever thinking, what was the movie Up? The dog that gets distracted.
Yes,
that is the representation of my brain. Whereas I'm focus, squirrel. Then we're back.
Same. I love that. I love living life in just like random tangents. Like whenever people are like, oh, sorry, just like went off track. I'm like, no, that was probably more interesting than what you were about to say.
I agree.
I love.
Especially when you like slow down. Like I wasn't doing anything in Ohio and I would wake up and my body's like, do something. I'm like, no, girl, sit down.
Yeah.
And you just feel the difference of how you're so conditioned to move. But I'm really trying to work on the balance of like rest and work. It's really hard. It's so hard.
How have you been trying to do that so far? Like, how's that work-life balance journey been going for you?
I'm learning how to tell myself no. Like, no, you shouldn't do that. No, you shouldn't schedule anything on that day so you can rest.
Because you're your own boss compared to other people in other businesses. It's not like you're being assigned these things. You're given the free reins to choose what you want.
Yeah.
And when you're an excellent and talented performer like Mariyea herself, it's like you want to take all the bookings because there's a lot coming at you.
Of course.
But does your body want to?
Does your body want to? Does your mind and spirit want to? I was thinking about, I'm going to give... I don't know what diva was saying this. Many divas have talked about it on Twitter. This idea of just like quality over quantity, right? I'm going to start showing up as like all of myself at each of these gigs rather than compartmentalizing because I'm tired and can't bring my whole self to the moment. Like, I think drag for me is really fun when I feel like I've had the time to pour all of myself into that 3 to 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Rather than, come on, diva, let's give it. It's giving shows. Ooh. After a while, it loses its flair.
Yeah.
So that's not only in drag either. That's like in my theater work, in my acting work, in my just creative life in general. Like learning how to take space to refresh myself, to get reacquainted with why I do what I do, is really necessary. So I want to start seeing more drag shows again.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, because when you're working too much, you're like, obviously, this one day off, while I would love to go see a show, I'm either doing laundry or cleaning my makeup brushes or working my other jobs, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, so completely.
There's that aspect of me missing out on like renewing myself with just seeing drag rather than doing it. Or singing a play or going to a concert. So finding ways to just renew that creative energy.
Yeah. When was the first time you saw drag?
The first person I seen in drag was Nina West.
Really?
All people, because she's like,
Oh shit, that's right. Yeah, Ohio girl.
yeah. So it was really cute. I think she did like Poor Unfortunate Souls that night, and I was like, no shade to Nina, but I was like, yeah, girl, I could do that. I was like, period. She's carrying. I can get up there and carry.
Exactly.
And then they had a competition, and she was like, people come up, and all my friends were like, go do it, and I was like, no.
No way.
No, I couldn't. Like at the time, I could not do it.
How old were we here?
Maybe we were 17.
Okay.
Yeah. And since then, the obsession and the fascination began.
Really?
Because it was birthed out of the moment of me saying no. You know what I mean? Had I just dove into it.
And drove too. That's hot.
Drove into it as well with my whole vehicle. It would have been great, but there was something about really taking the time to fully invest in it before diving into it that was really beautiful.
I see. So then when was the moment that you got to invest and fully dive into it?
Drag. I love talking about this story. It's so special to me. I started drag 2 months after I started transitioning, like to the day almost. And I was just like, okay, if I'm going to transition, I can go do drag at a bar in New York City.
Exactly.
Like, come on, girl. So I went to Drag Wars, redacted. And it just kind of happened from there. Like the first night just turned into me going back, and suddenly I blinked and we're doing drag full time in New York City. And it was like really beautiful. Like I didn't imagine that this would be the journey. So when I really take time to think about just how I was able to come into this and grow into myself through drag in New York, like it's always really special for me to talk about.
That's crazy.
I've learned so much about myself through this community, so I'm forever grateful to just be able to be a part of it.
Do you remember who you were competing against in Drag Wars?
Oh my Lord. Drag Wars, when I first started, I think Roxy Chanel was there. I think Marilyn Monroe.
Oh, love.
Who else was there? Miss J. I'm a stan of Miss J. Teray. We love Teray. Who else was there? Shalom. I don't know if Shalom does drag still. I think so. I haven't seen her in forever. And I think that was it. Me and Bianca Starr had a night together. And then I moved to like Lady Liberty, which is where I met Julie J.
Exactly.
And then to our, all the girls.
I see. I love Tina.
So it's crazy. And I think that's why like most people don't realize I'm a Brooklyn girl, because I started in Manhattan. So unintentionally. I just didn't know where to go. So I was like,
yeah,
I'm going to go to Drag Wars.
That is the cool thing though about New York drag. And I will say about like Manhattan drag, it's like that's where anyone could get their start. Yeah. Just go participate in an open night.
And there are so many open sets now. Like big kudos to all the girls bringing that back, because something about the culture of open set in New York City is really exciting to me in terms of people just realizing, yeah, come try it, come do it.
Yeah.
Like just go do it, because all of us watch it, all of us love it, all of us fantasize about doing it. Yeah. So take the space to just try it. You know what I mean? And I think the scene is really opening up to be much more supportive in that way.
Yeah, and like that's such a classic like New York like
staple,
way of like you do a night in the drag competition, you know, you win a gig for the next week or whatever. Like that's just such a classic story. Why get rid of it? And it's like
get rid of it. Shout out to Brooklyn Open Sets. I love the Brooklyn Open Sets. Right. The girls.
I love it. And it's like that keeps drag going. Especially now when we're in the era of drag being compromised or its status being compromised. It's like, how are we, I don't want to say like we're like by not having open sets is doing the same thing as fucking banning drag, but it's the idea of slowing it down or limiting it. Why would you want to do that?
I agree.
You know?
I really like,
it's like cutting off our own drag supply.
Come on.
You know what I mean? I wanted to word that better.
No, I kind of like that though. This idea of like cutting off our drag supply.
Yeah, why would you do that?
I really like that. Let's make an animated short. Cutting off the city's drag supply.
The next rusical.
The next rusical. Yeah, the legislation thing. It's crazy. Especially because now it's really starting to show that it's much more about people being able to live in the freedom of themselves. more than anything else.
Yeah.
I think we're just living in a time in the world where anybody living outside of societal norms is challenging. How do I want to word that? Squirrel. Yeah, people are just intimidated by someone's ability to live at the center of who they are. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of people underestimate the power of just being yourself. I think I'm a person who underestimates a lot the power of me being myself and what that means for the world. So it is of no shock to me that all of these iconic people around us, all of our siblings who are trans and non-binary, all of our drag artists are shaking up the world in this way. We should be.
Yeah.
We have to, actually, because there is no world without us in it that is whole and complete and telling the story of what we really could be as humanity. So I don't think it's a choice. I don't think it's a coincidence. I just think it's time, like
Yeah.
now's the time.
Yeah, I agree. And that's the thing. You said it perfectly. It's like, that's just all where it comes from. Like all the legislation and whatnot that's coming out against transgender people and drag performers in that instance. It's like, it's just those people's uncomfortability
Yeah.
with themselves.
Always. It's a projection.
It's crazy. And Sasha Colby put it together
Yes.
perfectly
Yep.
when explaining her crowning outfit.
Yes.
She's like, I am what y'all want. And that's why you all are mad.
That's my favorite thing about doing drag. Y'all know this. Well, maybe not a lot of people know. I feel like if you see me perform, I love showing my body for that reason, right?
Mhm.
Like, it is my protest. It is my, like, you can't take this from me. You won't ever be able to. In fact, you're going to sit here and you're going to enjoy it. And you might not like the fact that you do, but you're going to nonetheless.
And that's the crazy part about it.
And that's the empowering aspect of who... The thought's just leaving. That's what I was going to say earlier.
Very good.
My relationship to drag was really important to me because that was my space to explore my womanhood, what it meant for me to walk into the full power of me just being a film in this world and being able to create that for myself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, of course these things are under attack. Like, they're very powerful tools of creating and being and breaking molds and barriers and chains, and people see that and they're afraid of it, and you should be, because the girls are cunts.
Exactly.
And if I wasn't us, I would probably be afraid of us too.
And that's just genuinely what it is. It's insane how timid and insecure people are when they're unhappy seeing somebody that they want to be doing.
Yeah.
Or just when they see somebody so comfortable in doing what they do.
I agree.
You know?
I think that's why...
Like, why be a hater?
I was laughing because I was just having a conversation with, like, I would jokingly call myself a hater from time to time.
Well, like, it's okay
to be a hater. But I say that because there are a lot of people who I think derive pleasure from being a hater solely because they were never interesting enough to be hated on. And I find that crazy. Like, imagine you wanting somebody to hate on you so bad that you hate on other people. Oh.
I know. That sucks.
Oh. But I also used to be a person who so desperately wanted everybody to like me, in the sense of the idea of me having a hater was so traumatizing. Yeah. And then I had to think about it one day. I was like, Beyonce, of all people, has haters. Not to do myself like that, but what would make me think that me, of all people, would not be privy to the experience of being hated on? But that is some of my naivete that I don't want to let go of yet. That we as a world can move beyond our capacity to be hated.
See,
Which, just because for funsies, we'll hold out hope. But ultimately,
yeah.
ultimately, it's just about learning how to let that go
Yeah.
more than
I
anything.
I think like some people are blessed with the gift of getting rid of it earlier. For me, the best medicine has just been time, age, and experience. I turned 26 at this time we're recording this in like 12 days. I know I'm at the end of my 25th year around the sun. It's
Happy
crazy.
early birthday.
Thank you.
So exciting.
Thank you. And the thing I gained at the end of this whole damn journey, I'm like, why give a fuck?
Yeah.
It costs so much. Like,
Yes.
it costs so much to give a fuck. I'm just
does.
trying to get through the MTA and afford it. Like,
And afford it because I don't want to pay for it.
hello? That's what I'm saying. So why cost energy on giving a fuck? Just don't.
Just don't. And I
Just
think
don't. I'll let them give the fucks.
this summer is going to be, I feel something brewing in the
Same.
atmosphere, just in terms of, like our lives are being challenged right now. Our right to exist is being challenged right now. And the best resistance is existing. Ew, but I kind of do like that.
No, but it's true. It's
and
true.
I think this will be the summer of us really getting to just live at the center of who we are, because we have to. Like, it is our active resistance. It's the only way to ensure that we can continue to have lives beyond what those who want to eradicate us want that to look like.
Yeah, it's true. And like, it's unfortunate that we must go through harsh situations, especially when we're not the ones putting them upon ourselves.
Yes.
But most times, though, regardless of where it's coming from, we always leave it grown, flourished, bigger and better.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I agree. I'm really curious to see when we're like 20, 30, 40 years from this moment, like how we'll be reflecting on this time.
Crazy.
I think about that often, and like it just feels like a shift, and I'm curious to know what we're shifting towards and where we're shifting to. But you can't think ahead. Gotta live in the moment. Woo.
No, but same. I'm definitely a think ahead girl, despite me being like, oh, think in the moment. Yeah. I really never thought about that. What is it gonna look like?
What are we gonna be saying about this time?
That's so cool.
Where so much is changing.
That's so cool to think about, though, because then that makes most things we're doing, or basically everything we're doing, a part of history in some way.
I'm forever existential girl.
Exactly. I
love big thinking.
I'm the same way. When I was little, I'd always like look in the mirror just like for long moments and just be like, what the fuck is this?
Yes. Number one sign that that child is not a cis straight child.
Hey.
Staring in the mirror for 5 hours.
I'm just like,
just looking.
Just looking.
Just
like those are a lot of lashes. Interesting.
If I ever have children, I will revel for the day where I come around the corner and they're just looking in the mirror.
Yeah.
Mission accomplished.
Exactly. No talk needed.
No talk.
I get you, baby.
I get it. I see it. I'm so excited.
Do you want kids?
I want to believe that there is a world that can sustain me having children.
There is.
We live in it now. Like, obviously it can happen, but I wouldn't be telling the full truth if I didn't say I'm like scared of what it looks like to raise children in this world right now. But I've always imagined it, for sure.
Based off of what you want, like what your heart wants. Are you?
Yeah. If my heart could have it, my heart is gonna have it. I truly can see myself being a mother. I love children. I always have.
Same.
I think I always will. Like, children have a very special place in my heart.
Same. I don't like people that make their personality trait not liking children. It's very red flag behavior to me.
Yeah. I'm like, why? I understand, like, not understanding how to engage with children. Because, that does take a certain level of practice and understanding. But, like, what is there to hate about children? Like, I love them. They are a little mean sometimes. My cousins were chopping me up. They're like 10, 8, 7. Woo. It takes thick skin.
Yes.
To deal with some of the children.
Yeah.
But outside of that, like, it's crazy to think about, like, Look at the intelligence flowing through your brain to be able to read me like that.
You know what? That's a
Where did you
very
learn that from?
that's a very
How did
positive
you
way to look at
realize
it.
how to read like that in your 7? Like,
That's so
my
funny.
feelings are hurt. And you did that so succinctly. Yeah.
That's so tragic, but that's really funny the way you worded
I
that.
love children.
It's hilarious. I was getting ice cream the other day, and it was like on one of those hot days, like, all the kids are out.
Yes.
And these two queens were just going at each
Love
other. They were maybe like 12, and I was like, damn,
Yeah.
these bitches are
I want to see
harsh.
the reading challenge with like 12, 13-year-olds.
Oh my gosh,
I
that's
wanna
a great idea.
See it. They would eat. It
You
would
know
be
what they
so
should
good.
do next season? I don't know if this like violates any contract or whatever. For the next makeover challenge,
Yes.
they have the teachers that came last year.
Mhm.
They bring their favorite student,
That would be really cute.
make over the kids, and the kids could do a lip sync
Yeah.
or reading challenge. Hopefully that doesn't sound like that's like grooming children to be on show business, but you know what I mean. If they're
But I know
interested,
exactly what
you get
mean.
the
But
intention.
yeah, and also like, let's talk about it. The whole like grooming debate is so hilarious to me right now because when you really think about indoctrination, it's like, realistically, what parent is taking their 6-year-old child to a bar, a gay bar, at 10 p.m. on a Friday night to watch a drag show?
Like the kid isn't even gonna get in.
So when we're having all of these conversations
Like-
about grooming and just, I think what I'm intrigued about is this push to have society exist in very specific parameters.
Yeah.
Like the fact that we're at the era of literally policing bodies and what people can look like and how they can move through this world. Not that this is new or unfounded. It's just to experience it in this way right now. It's like, okay, people are afraid of losing control. And if my existence is requiring so much of you trying to handle what that means, I think you should just stop thinking about it. I think you should just leave it to me to tell you what I need to be able to exist.
Exactly.
Because it's going to happen anyway. And I'm just curious about what does it mean for us as a queer community to really come together and recognize that at this time, like, holding on to each other is the only way that we're going to navigate getting through this moment. And I know that's really scary, but it's so necessary because what is the quote that I'm thinking of? It'll come to my mind. None of us are free until we're all free.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah.
So I'm really curious about just like what mass liberation looks like. Obviously, it's always from a trans-centered lens. Like I have to start there. Trans films are so necessary to the culture and the movement. But it's really time to figure out communally how we're going to lean on each other for survival.
Yeah. I just think it starts, like, it sounds so corny to be like, oh, it just like starts with the basics, but it really does.
Yeah.
Like, we're all in this community together. We're all each other's brothers and sisters and siblings. Let's be that.
Easily.
Let's be that.
Easily.
You know, because if we're not fully together, then we don't stand a chance in this fight.
And just concentrating on the good times. Like,
Yeah.
I think some of my favorite moments is like watching an event in New York City and then having the FOMO and being like, oh, I wish I was there, just to experience the energy of the happening. Like I'm thinking about like her fantasy, her
Yeah.
fantasy. And watching like that event on Instagram, watching everybody's stories and just like feeling what I'm sure the energy of that room felt like. It's like whatever that is, however we can quantify that, that's the weapon.
Which I think is just ultimately like pure joy.
Yeah.
And bliss in the highest form. And I think in a weird way, that's what those oppressors are afraid of.
I agree.
Because whatever they thought pure joy and pure bliss wasn't theirs and was probably just given to them by whoever's come before them, if that makes sense. And they're just now realizing now in their late old ages that they're like, oh wait, I've been told the wrong thing, so-and-so, and they're mad that we're realizing it. now it's such a younger, more tender
Come on,
age.
more tender.
More tender.
And fear is a powerful tool, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
a very powerful weapon. And I think a lot of people, myself included, like more often than not, give into their fears, you know?
Yeah.
And people fear what they don't understand. Though understanding trans people does not have to be difficult, but conversation for a different day.
And it's, yeah. And my thing, I always say this in many discussions, it's just like, if the person isn't hurting or harming,
Yes.
why, let me look at your schedule. Like, why do you have this much time to care? You know what I mean?
I do. I think about that often.
Like, I just engineered 5 shows today and filmed 2 of my own.
Right.
I don't have time to give a fuck about somebody just being themselves.
Just being themselves.
I could support it from afar
Mm-hmm.
and cheer them on.
Yeah.
Because that's one, easier, and that's better for you emotionally and better for the other person. But to go out of your way and try to stop them from doing such, it just sounds like you don't have that much to do during the day.
And a lot of girls don't, unfortunately.
They don't.
Which is the sad part. But like, this is the era of personal liberation. You know what I mean?
You're right.
We spend so much time like feeling like we have to think about anything other than what makes us happy, what brings us joy.
Mm-hmm.
Prioritizing that, going to get that, making that the focus.
Yeah.
That's the new thing.
That is. I wanted to talk about the newest 2 season of Drag Race 2 that you mentioned, like with the whole her party. What do you think?
Of course. I don't even know where to start. Like, that finale was crazy. The numbers alone, like, I really enjoyed the songs.
Who are your favorite, if you had to pick?
Obviously anything Sasha Kobe does, it's just going
Perfect.
to wow me, right? Lux carried.
I was gonna say
Lux carried.
Lux had my favorite.
That song, like, I just can't
It was
get
so
it out my
good.
head.
Because some numbers.
I said, yeah. Like, obviously, Mistress 8, Anisha 8.
Tour.
Like, the performances, iconic. They gave. Like, Mistress carried. It's something about Lux's song and Sasha's song too, like the songs themselves did it for me, which means obviously the 2 powerhouse performers that they are, it was just gonna make the moment. And also, you know, I was talking about this on Twitter. An icon is someone referencing themselves. Who said it? Annie, Atomic Annie. She was talking about it on Twitter with me. Like, the fact that Sasha Kobe referenced herself in her performance.
Genius.
Like, what? Like, get at her.
Genius. And this is her second time referencing herself too. Because she won the dress she won Continental in. Like,
I'm a Sasha Kobe stan, as we all are, but I'm really shouting out like Mistress and Lux and Anitra solely because obviously Sasha's mother of drag. We love Sasha Kobe, but the 3 of them in particular really like stood their ground and showed themselves to be like very formidable competitors.
I agree.
The crown could have been placed on any of their heads.
I agree.
And that's the gag to me. I was just sitting there like,
anyone.
It would make sense. Like, there wouldn't be a single winner where I would be like, that made no sense to me.
Anyone. That's the thing. You said it. Like, Sasha's mother of drag, but like those other girls mothered drag down.
I can't get it out of my head.
It's so good. That's the song out of all 4 of those that I like on my way to work today. Like,
you just have to.
Yes.
Yeah, it's fashion.
It's so
Speaking of
good.
fashion, I feel like Irene is so underrated on the fashion front because that finale look for me sent me up. Like, Sugar sent me up, but Irene sent me up. I loved that outfit.
So good. I hope she comes back for All Stars.
I think she will. I think the water thing, you know, I feel like had it been edited in a different way, there's a world where we would have been on the floor.
I think so too. I think like
I wanted it to be funny.
Me too. Me too. For me, that looks like something I were to see it like, come on, everybody.
Yeah.
And be talking about for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks on end.
Yes.
It maybe just didn't translate right. Maybe it was editing. I want to see her back.
Down.
though.
do
And
too.
she's good
This
TV.
is a really good, like, it was a really, really good season.
It was.
And I was worried because you never know, but like it did reinvigorate my like love for Drag Race in a way.
Same.
Whereas like the previous seasons, you have your one or two people that you're just rooting for throughout, but this season was like, I'm just rooting for this cast in general.
Same. Same. I think this is my favorite recent season since season 10.
Yeah.
I think 10 isn't talked about enough. 10 was
Let me go back.
carry.
I feel like in my brain I have a turn dial for every season. And I'm thinking 11, 12, 13, 14. Out of those, 10 for me for sure.
10 was so
10
great.
was a really, really good season. Start to finish.
It was amazing TV.
Start to finish.
And it
One
was
of my
great
favorite
drag too.
Inspirations, Asia.
Asia is
It was the
mother.
dandelion headpiece from IKEA.
Yes.
And it gagged me only because
Yes.
I will never forget it. Like, me and my friends just wanted to go to the Brooklyn IKEA. So, like, we just went one day for fun. It's really cute. We see that literal chandelier in there. And we're like,
A monument.
Oh, that is gorgeous. This is before the episode came out. So, this is like,
no way.
Right. So, we're like, that chandelier is so cute, whatever. A few days later, we go to watch the episode and she comes down the runway. My jaw never dropped with as much of a swiftness as it did in that moment because I was like,
she walked through a whole ass
She-
IKEA to grab this.
bought that from IKEA and put that on her head.
Genius.
Genius.
Where's her sponsorship?
Genius.
Truly.
Genius.
Asia,
I'm like, bring that back. That's the Drag Race that I need again.
Yeah.
I need the girls with IKEA.
They should do a sponsored episode by IKEA where they just sweep IKEA.
on their head.
You know what?
Yeah.
That would be hot.
That would be hot.
IKEA is like what? Usually like 2-3 stories.
Yeah.
Have the girls go through all of those.
Yeah, unpopular opinion. Maybe it's not. There's a world where Asia could have won that season.
I agree. Asia's one of my top queens of all time.
Just like we love to use the word professionalism.
But professionalism.
Not a hair out of place, not a stitch out of place, not a piece of makeup out of place. And you know, I don't blame her for the butterflies because the venues do be hot.
I mean,
I've had many a wig on my head that I swore to the death of me was secure and on there. And that heat started blasting. And she said,
we don't all need to be scientists.
We knew.
She's most definitely cut and fierce.
We knew it was hot. It was hot.
Hot and sunny Los Angeles.
But now anytime someone like Irene throwing the butterflies, I
yes.
was like,
that was funny.
Also, let's get into Simone. Chilling.
Simone just at the finale with the glasses on. There was
so much.
Same.
For that reason.
First of all, her like stepping down look was so good.
Yes, it was.
Still to this day, I'm like, I just empathize more and more for those people that didn't get it because I'm like, that's so poor taste of you.
Also,
it was so fucking good. It still is good.
How much it took to make it alone. I don't know. Simone's cunt.
And it's just the creative vision. Like some people have it and some don't.
But her sitting there with the glasses chilling. She's like, it's not my year. I'm here to relax and enjoy. I said yes.
I loved it.
I almost thought about pulling the glasses today.
You almost did?
Residual edible from the flight.
Ooh, oh. That sounds really nice.
If the eyes are still low when I get home, we're going to pop the glasses on.
No, the eyes are sitting today.
They're sitting.
No, they are. I was going to say halfway through us talking, I'm like, your eyes are so pretty. Like, I'm just like, look at them. I'm like, God damn, you're pretty.
Drag taught me that. Because I would look at them. Because they're not like, they have color, obviously. They're dark brown. But I would always be like, my eyes don't have color.
But I think dark brown eyes are the prettiest eyes. Fight me. I don't care. Like, I love, everyone feel free to express themselves the way they want to. But like, for example, like, Mo Hart right now.
Yes.
For the past few years, she's been rocking contactless eyes. And I, like, my heart beats 3 times.
It does it to you?
Yes.
That's also, I feel that.
Oh my God, she looks amazing.
I just
those big eyes.
Contacts. Like I used to not do them, and then I tried it. It was giving so much so,
Yeah.
like, it shocks the girls. Like, some people don't recognize me depending on the colored contact I have
Mm-hmm.
on, and
Mm-hmm.
I love that power
That is fun.
because I didn't realize it changed that much of, like, how people perceive you.
Yeah, it definitely does. Like people didn't understand like Sasha's context during the
True.
reunion, and I'm like, that's just such a drag
Yeah, but it
contact.
was a drag contact.
Like that's a
Like,
contact that like you wear on stage.
with that outfit, it was doing it for me. It worked. You know, I have to see you give drag one day because in my spirit, the way I know you carry, I just
I
feel
used
it.
to do drag.
I know.
Okay,
I can see
good.
it.
One day.
You gotta
One
shock
day.
us, just like don't tell anyone.
That's
You know what I
exactly
mean? Like don't have any conversation about it. Just gag us all. One day.
that's exactly what the goal is. It's so funny
Yeah.
because I stopped doing drag around the time I started getting good at it. Like the way my face was sitting and the hair, and I was still young. I was maybe like 20, 21. So now I'm like, oof, going back into it again, knowing what I know internally, externally. We love everybody. But when I say it'll be a wrap,
Yeah.
it will be a wrap.
Come eat us up.
Grilled or fried, wrap,
Yeah.
regardless.
You know I love a meal.
And that's exactly many
You come feed the
courses.
children and eat for yourself, okay? Yeah.
Many courses for those to feed upon. Oh my
Pop
goodness.
the corn and feed the children. We need those
Pop the
iconic. We need those iconic one-liners back.
Right?
Pop the corn and feed the children. What was some like? I don't know if I have any season 15 one-liners that gagged me. Gagged her a bit for sure.
Gagged her a bit. Yeah.
For sure.
Gagged her a bit is so funny. I want one of those shirts
sure.
so bad.
Yeah, no, they're really cute.
Gagged her a bit. I love gagged her a bit.
That's the one that has taken me out the whole season.
Yeah, same.
Also, mistresses.
Oh my friends and I all the time. It's so funny.
I love it.
That one and obviously like the duck one, but my friends and I use it in like context where it doesn't fit in,
Yeah.
which makes it kind
I
of
love
funnier.
that.
If that makes sense. Like I'll be like, I run around my apartment like a crazy person, as you saw
Same.
me getting ready
Yeah,
for
As you
filming.
should.
Yeah, just like running around, spurning like random thoughts out of my mind. And I'm talking to my best friend and roommate. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go to the gym and this and this. And Joe's my roommate is just like, you better walk that fucking duck. And I'm just like, exactly. Like
Right.
writes it down
Walking-
onto my list.
walking the
Like walking the duck, we'll do at 3 p.m. Like
I'm really assuming that Walk That Duck really took off like that.
crazy.
But if we're gonna talk about it, let's talk about ballroom. Ew.
Let's
We
talk
love
about it.
ballroom. They never get enough credit for just being the foundation of culture. I'm a ballroom stan.
Same.
It was actually really the night I started drag. I was either gonna go to OTA or
Oh,
Drag Wars.
really?
Yeah, and I was like, whichever one I feel like scares me less. That's the one I choose to do. I always do the one that scares you more. But I picked the one that scared me less. So now there's this like love letter to ballroom that I have that I want to give.
Oh, hey.
So we'll get up in there one day.
Exactly. Mariyea special cameo appearance at OTA. First Madonna, next Mariyea. That would be hot.
No, I would love to just eventually do it. Like I feel like so much of why transitioning felt possible to me was just watching all the film queens in ballroom pave that way. And I really stand on the fact that they're never given the credit that they deserve. Ever. They're never given enough flowers. Like ballroom film queens, so foundational. They deserve the absolute world. Forever grateful for them too. And yeah, like give it up for ballroom. We need more space for ballroom to like actually tangibly take over in a way that's like sustainable and not these cute little like, ooh, this is the moment, but like really
I
give it,
agree.
like time and space for it to be like what it needs to be.
I agree. For starters, let's keep Legendary on streaming,
That's what I
please.
mean.
Thank
It's like
you. Like
all the things of like putting it in the hands of people who are in ballroom. You know what I mean? And letting it come from inside the house rather than
exactly.
trying to pull the girls into projects that you have no awareness of. But that's the thing.
Exactly.
Like ballroom and drag, close related world, sure, but
Yeah.
also just learning how to respect the confines of that community. I think that's what makes like
I
the whole
think so.
Walk That Duck so controversial in that way.
Mhm.
It's just understanding within the queer community, like there are certain areas of marginalization that still exist that we have to honor in order to be able to come together and like be the
I
community that we
agree.
need, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, completely. It's just like, it sounds so cliche to say, but just like education, awareness. That's where, like, when
easy.
Anitra was explaining, I think it was like the finale episode or
Mhm.
something, where she was explaining like where love for ballroom came from. I was like, okay, I get where you're coming from now.
Yeah.
She's coming from somebody who adores this art. Because even I was like, this bitch is from Nevada. They don't have that over there. And I'm like, okay, kid in a small town, I guess, or like outside a big city, like looking for inspiration, looking for something to cling on to.
cling on to.
And they found that. And I'm like, as long as you find a way to give that back.
And that's the thing. I feel like people are so intimidated to give back.
Which why?
Which why? And not Anitra specifically, just
Yeah.
in general. I feel like there's just this unspoken fear around giving back to the people who inspired, who made it possible for you to do what you do. You know what I mean? Like, we're losing such a rich history and culture solely because we're afraid to just honor the like legends that we have while we have them.
Which is crazy because it's like most of us didn't invent anything. Somebody before you did. Or if anything, that person before you probably took inspiration from another person that came before them. So the least you could do is just, hi sis.
At the very
least. Thanks for running so I could walk.
Right.
And push it.
Like, yeah, I'm all about honoring the people who come before. I think it's really important.
Because then you would want the same thing done to you.
Yeah, like it's all reciprocal. It really is.
It's crazy. It's like when, like we were saying earlier, like people that hate on children. It's like, you were a child. You know that, right? Like you grow to become a legend, and you were once somebody that didn't pay respect for legends. It's like, something's not clicking.
It's not clicking, love.
It's not. No, at all.
No.
I thought you had the accent there, so I was like, let me respond.
Really good.
Oh, I talk to myself in accents all the time. That's how I keep my thoughts focused.
Okay, that's actually a really smart thing to do.
Yeah, or I'm on an edible. Either way.
No, it's giving edible summer for sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I'm just like, perfect way to relax at the beach in the sun.
Twirling.
Twirling.
Very
easy.
You know I love a twirl.
I love a twirl. And it's just like, you can never have too much sun.
No.
New York is getting hotter in the summer though, and that is scary.
It is.
But you know, hey, hot girl summer.
More two pieces.
I was about to say, yay! All summer, we're gonna tan down.
More two pieces. More shows, hopefully.
More shows, yeah. I'm taking
more you. That's what matters.
Now.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we're gonna get back to it. I'm excited. I think summer's gonna be really, really fun for just drag. Oh, I love it.
Can you give us a taste of what the rest of 2023
yes I can
looks like for Mariyea?
Yes. In a perfect world, if I got everything I wanted, I know I'm going to spend a lot of time just being much more intentional about my relationship to my creative practice, being an artist.
Yep.
Hopefully, because you just never know with timelines. I'm in a movie that's coming to Paramount Plus. I would love for it to drop this year. I think it will, but whenever it's announced, it's going to be really exciting. I can't wait to see where that's going to take me. Talking about living your dreams. I'm just really honored to be able to like live a live stream so seemingly early in my life. And I don't take that for granted. So I really want to give myself the time and space to like revel in this moment. And outside of that, just enjoying. Like, I work too much. I put too much of an emphasis on like going and working. And I think
lay down.
The rest of this year is me reminding myself that this is a marathon, not a sprint. That I have so much more time.
Yeah, for real.
And that I really just get to enjoy it while I have it.
Exactly.
I won't be 25, young and hot forever. So
you might be.
okay, I'm gonna be 25, young and hot.
Exactly,
Forever. But
exactly.
in this year, we're gonna live it up for sure. And I think
Exactly.
that's what's most important. What about you? What are you manifesting this year?
Like just me being exactly where the fuck I'm meant to be, how the fuck I'm meant to be.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I love that.
Like, that's just what it is. Like, no more of like the pushing things off to the side because I don't think I deserve them. No. Bring it right here, I do. And I'm saying that because I know I fucking worked for it.
And have.
Yeah, and I like to think I'm a good person. I don't think being good means you deserve things.
Yeah.
But I do think I have the right intention to do good things with the things I want to achieve.
I'll say it. You deserve great things.
Thank you. And I say, I don't want to sound arrogant when I say I know.
Yeah.
But I'm learning to say thank you.
That.
Yeah.
And you do know.
And back to you, you know, like that's just, yeah, thank you, I know. That's literally how the rest of the year is going to be for both of us.
Thank you, I know.
Thank you, I know.
Yeah.
I love that about me too. Thanks. What about you? You know what I mean? Like, very much that. Very much that.
And not being afraid to.
Yeah.
And we shouldn't.
No.
We're young, hot, and cute.
Very at that. Very. I've been recently, I'm like, ooh.
And I've been feeling it. Like, I don't know what it is. I don't know what the change is, but like,
down.
It's giving what we were talking about, walking past the bank window and being like,
I'm like, oh, hold on. I'm like, oh, that's why everyone on the train is staring at me. They have a point. Okay.
You said proceed to stare. I would too.
That's what I'm saying. Take a picture. Please airdrop it to me.
Please airdrop it to me. I would like to know.
Any other things you want to airdrop to me, feel free to.
Yeah, come on. Fun girl summer, okay? Single girl summer. Ew.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
This is literally everything.
No, I love you like I loved you before, and I love you harder now. Same. Yes. Same. I love it. No one in the studio, literally just us.
No, like truly just gave it.
Our 2020 tease.
We're right here.
But hotter.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You know.
Exactly.
No, you're the best.
You are.
Nothing but love for you always.
You too. I genuinely, even like if that's off, like I genuinely mean that. Like going out and everything lately, like has just been, especially this past year, has just been so like such the only way of catharsis for me.
Yes, truly.
You know, and so from the DJs to the hosts that are there that want to be friendly and want to be nice. That wasn't meant to be shady, but kind of did come off shady.
I was like, give it.
But to the drag entertainers, or anyone who is bringing entertainment and to anyone who is taking part in curating that environment that has been such a healthy form of like positive escapism for me, thank you. Yeah. It literally got me through this year, and that's why I'm turning 26 at this time of filming in like 12 days. Like, those nights out are the things that I'm like thinking about on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday nights, still just being like, oh my gosh, when Mariyea performed this and my friends and I lost it and da-da-da. Like, that's the shit that I remember more than anything. So thank you for being a part of that. And hopefully you know, which you know because we're in Thank You I Know era. That's our era.
This is the era. Thank you I know.
That you know that when you finish a performance, you're not just like, okay, I killed that shit, but you're like, I know I touched somebody. And you most definitely did.
You're the best. And know that your love and light is so felt.
Thank you.
I'm so grateful to receive it.
Thank you. I know. Not going to be able to stop finishing. I'm not going to be able to stop saying that. I'm like,
thank you.
Thank you. I know. But with that being said, thank you for watching. We know why you're watching. And we'll see y'all on another episode of Me, Myself, and bye. Cute. Thank you. I love you so much.
Not us really gabbing it up like that.
Oh, I know. So hard my foot fell asleep.
Same.
Oh, I love you so